Guys, you know what time it is. You know what time it is. It's bounce patch time. I'm scared. I'm excited, but I'm scared. What if it's not good? It's gotta be good, right? It's right after SWC. It's gotta be good. We were expecting a big one. What if it's not a big one? I'm gonna be very disappointed. I have not seen it yet. So whatever reaction, the reaction that you get. But I don't need it to be good for me. I just need it to be good in general, right? This is my life. I'm a content creator, so it doesn't need to buff my monsters. It just needs to shake things up and make things exciting. That's how I have a good, a happy, free, smoothly flowing job for the next few months. Instead of like, okay, try to make the same meta still fun for the next couple months. So it's a very stressful time for me when the balance patch comes out. But any content creator in any game like this, right? Whenever the balance patch comes out, they're like, this is like a big. Oh, anyway, let's take a look. I'm scared though. I'm scared, but we're gonna take a look. We're gonna see. Hopefully, even if it doesn't buff my monsters, hopefully it changes the meta, makes things exciting for everyone. That is my hope. Okay, here's the walk through the monster balance thing. Blah 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 blah. It's gonna be very soon because they usually don't take like forever in the meantime. But okay, what do we have? Seals loom down. Dark Ifrit. First one, Veramos. Okay. Conversion of magic recovers 3% HP for each harmful effect. All allies will cover 3% their HP by 3% for each harmful effect. Okay, so little buff to Veramos. Not bad. Not a game-changing buff. Little buff to Veramos. I hope that doesn't count as one, because a lot of times they just only buff 2 light darks. I hope they buff a lot more. But hopefully that doesn't count as against one of them. Occult Girls! Water, fire, wind, and light. Ooh. Water Occult Girl. Effect added. Decrease the attack speed with the Water Guardian Angel. That's her third skill. Decrease the attack speed for 3 turns with 40% chance. Hey. That's not bad. That's not. You really don't see her that much. But, yeah, that's not bad. It's not a game-changing buff, but it's not bad. The Occult Girl Fire Guardian Angel. Decrease the attack speed and fix continuous damage for 2 turns is now... They buffed the Fire Occult Girl? She didn't even need a buff. Oh, I hope they're not just doing random things. She didn't need a buff though. She was really good already. Wind Occult Girl. Oh, let's see. Effect added after attacking. Increase the attack bar of all allies. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. AOE increase attack bar, and that's just regardless. That's regardless of if you're. So you could even put that on Swift now. You could even. Wow, that's good. That's really good for turn cycling. Oh, that's really good for turn cycling. Oof, that denies them so many turns, that increases so many turns. I mean, it's 20%. It's not like 50. It's not like Frigate, right? But 20% is 20%. And for something to decrease their enemy's attack gauge so much and increase your attack gauge at the same time, I don't think that do we have anyone else that does it? Like, kind of Tableau, right? I know there's gonna be some that it's like very obvious that it's like, I know there's gonna be something very obvious that I miss. But whatever, I'm sorry in advance. I'm just gonna apologize in advance. I'm gonna miss something. Cult Girl, Light Occult Girl, decrease the attack power for 3 turns with 40% chance is now removes 1 beneficial effect. Oh, everyone that complains about the Light Occult Girl, are you happy now? They're like, no, keep buffing, keep buffing. We'll be happy, keep buffing, and we'll be eventually hit. I think that's good. Removing beneficial effects is always very strong. Oh, I see Vampire Lord. I wasn't trying to look down there. I saw Vampire Lord. Okay. Light Dragon Armageddon. Damage increased by 10. Oh, God. Did he need a damage increase? He wipes the... I mean, we'll see. No one's really complaining that he's too OP. So, I guess that works. Oh, the Dark Dragon. Thank you. People were just complaining about this skill so much. They were like, he doesn't stun that much. I'm like, that. I kind of feel like that's not his point. It's the stun. But this is great. Hopefully, the people with the Dark Dragon are very excited about the stun amount because it's a multi-hit. It's not just a one-hit stun rate 5%. It's a multi-hit. So each hit, that's a big change. So he's going to stun a lot. So I feel like that's going to be a great buff for the Dark Dragon. In my opinion, if I was a Dark Dragon owner, well, I feel like I would already like them. But I would have never used the second skill because I didn't like it. I just like his third skill a lot. Dark Dragon's second skill, big improvement. That's exactly what they were. Good job, Comp to us. That's exactly what the people were complaining about that have him. They were like, he doesn't stun at all. But it's the second skill, but You really use them for like the third skill, right? Anyway, Dark Vampire Lord. Blood Contract grants Vampire effect, heals the HP for 20%, 2 turns. Increases their attack power 2 turns. Grants Vampire effect 3 turns, attack power 3 turns. 2 turn buff into a 3 turn buff. That is exactly what they needed. Good job. I feel like Comtuous actually listened. Wow, is this a Comtuous listens balance match? We don't have... You know what? I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouse. That's what he needed. Good job, Comtuous. I'll give them credit when they do good jobs. It's like they're puppies. Comtuous is like going to email me. We are not puppies, but we will take a treat, so please send it here. Okay. Vampire Lord, Dark Vampire Lord. Weakened damage increased by 8%. Didn't they just decrease? They toned down his damage, though. And then they buffed it again. Okay. Weakened again. Damage increased by 8. Okay, so 8% across the board for all vampires. Okay. Excuse me, I have to burp. I did burp. Excuse me. What's the next one? Dark Vampire! Okay. They listened again. I feel like it's Christmas. They're listening. Feast of Blood passive. Whenever you kill an enemy, the attack bar of all allies increases by 30%. Now absorbs the attack bar of the enemy by 15% with an attack. Ooh. Absorbs the attack bar of the enemy. But not for your whole team, just for him, right? Just for him. So it doesn't AoE attack gauge buff. It just absorbs with every attack. I like that. We'll have to see it in action. Because he multi-hits. He multi-hits. So it's not like just 15% attack gauge absorb. It's multi-hit attack gauge absorb. So, interesting. Interesting. We'll have to see, though. We'll have to see. Dragon Knight Water, Fire Knight, Justice. Effect ignores damage reduction effect. You know what? I did not necessarily think about it like that. Like, oh, he needs a buff to ignore damage effect. I feel like that's actually a good buff. I feel like that's it's not even it's a good buff, and it's a more creative buff than I was able to come up with. So I'm going to give them credit again. Feel like that's good. Okay. Feel like that, man, that Justice already hits so hard. But yeah, Dragon Knight Light. Okay, so this is one that was already going to get balanced in the last balance patch. Skill modification. Before gains immunity against inability effects. Increase attack by 20% each time your allies are attacked. Accumulates up to 10 times. Now gains immunity against ability effects. Increase the attack power by 50% each time you're... 50% up to 5 times. So now it's quicker to stack. Counterattacks with 30% chance when you get it. Oh... So he's Leica, and he stacks very fast. What do you guys think? I feel like that's good. And you can't CC him. You can't CC him. Like, for Leica, I was like, okay, let me multi-hit him to kill him, or let me CC him and hit him while he's CC'd. He cannot be CC'd, and he's going to stack and get 30% chance to counter. I feel like that's good. I feel like Light Dragon Knight owners are going to be happy with that. Because the last buff actually was kind of a nerf, wasn't it? They didn't like go through it. They were like, from the patch notes to the time the actual patch was implemented, they changed their mind. So people were like, what the hell? This is not a bounce patch. Or this is not a buff. Okay. That's good though, right? I feel like that's good. Water Oracle. Oh, I don't want to, let's not get ahead of ourselves now. Water Oracle. Daydream. Effect added puts all enemies to sleep for puts all enemies to sleep? The Daydream, that's the one where she's like, I'm going to heal everybody. I don't know why she's Hispanic, but let's go with that. Puts all enemies to sleep. So she heals your team, big heal, and puts the enemies to sleep. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. So that means she has 2 CC skills if you have her on Despair. She will strip and she will stun, and then she will also put everyone to sleep. I like her. I never put the bad runes on her. I want her so much for so long that I'm like, 250 speed Despair set. Bagel, you should put that on Juno. Nope. Nope. Praha gets it. But Bagel, that's not very good for the current meta. You would do better if you did it. No. I know I would, but Bagel logic. Because like, Bagel logic is not the greatest logic. Shh. Listen. Here's my logic. Praha's blue. End of story. It's just Praha was so one of my most wanted monsters early game, so I wanted to give her the respect she deserved. Polar Queen, Fire and Light Aura of Dawn, damage increased by 18%. Chimera, Water Crush, damage increased by 18. Well, they buffed the Chimera. I don't know if it's what I wanted, but it's a start, and sometimes they do little tweaks here and there, and then they see after that, they're like, okay, well, was that enough? Let's, so, whatever. Monkey King, Fire Cold Band, Headband, resistance, increases resistance by 5% whenever you're attacked, cumulative to 10 times. You know what? That's kind of similar to what I was, actually not just me, a lot of us were suggesting about immune to attack gauge decrease. He's not immune to attack gauge decrease, he's just increases resistance whenever he's attacked. So, if you have 20% resistance on him, and then he keeps getting attacked by like Vertiheel or whatever, or Gani Hathor, he's gonna eventually have 70% resistance. Because a lot of those things like just chip away very slowly at you. So he's gonna go from 20% to 70%. So that's not bad. That's not bad. Or like if you have 50% resistance, then he has 100% resistance. Or if you have 20% plus a resistance lead, well, you probably don't have a resistance lead because the enemy's picking Hathor, right? And that's the situation that I just mentioned. Anyway, it's a nice change that is similar to the thing that I was suggesting, and a lot of people in the community were suggesting. Poor Water Chimera. Aura of Dawn, did the Aura of Dawn really need a damage buff? I mean, I'm not complaining, but just curious. Water, Fire, Light, Dryad. Let's move up a little bit more. Let's move up a little bit. Oh, this is my Steel Wind Sniper buff! Don't get ahead of ourselves. Water, Fire, Light, Dryad. Honeybee Friends, HP recovery of all allies. Fair buff, makes sense. Water, Dryad, Tree of Lost, Oblivion State now is 3 turns, so it's the only monster that does 3 turn Oblivion. Because Tessera doesn't do 3 turns. She does 3 turns, but she only does it with that one skill. It's not a passive. So 3 turns is great. Nice buffs to Water Dryad. Light Dryad, Deep Rooted Tree passive. HP recovery and shield equivalent amount. 10 is now 15%. So even a little buff for the Light Dryad. Those are nice. Those are nice. I think those were good monsters before. It's kind of funny though. Like as soon as the Water Dryad came out, like the Guild Siege teams. Actually, no. Because you still see some of those Siege teams. Now that I think about it, you still see some of those siege teams. I still see, on the account that I was, on an account that I built and max skilled the Water Dryad, I also fought recently a Kamoon, Rakuni, Darien team on that same account. I'm not really sure why I didn't use the Water Dryad there, probably just because I'm not used to using her anymore, but yeah. That's a perfect team for her. Anyway, moving on. What else? Sniper, MK1 Wind, Veteran Passive. Effect added when the enemy's attack lands a glancing hit, increase the attack bar, is now increased the attack bar by 50% and attack power for 1 turn. Is that going to make him relevant enough? I don't think so. At least it's a buff. At least it's in the right direction. At least they know that he needs a buff, right? At least they know he's not good. Sniper MK1, Fire, Wind, Dark, Hidden Aim. Disables the hidden aim pose after your attack. Is now disables the hidden aim pose after your attack on your turn. Oh, that's actually see, that seems like a small thing, but that's actually a decent thing. Because he can revenge at full power. And I'm trying to remember the wording, but he can revenge at full power. Well, I mean, revenge is not full power already to begin with. Revenge is still not quite the full amount of damage that you do from the skill 1. But he can revenge and do a lot of damage. And not come out of his passive. So revenge might not be a bad set on him in general. Fire, Wind, and Dark. And then the Water and the Light one. I guess we'll have to play with it. Damage decreased by 11% for suppressive fire on the Water and Light one. Which is the strip and damage based on the amount of beneficial effects you strip. Oh, you know what? That's actually a good... That's a big buff because of the light one. Because remember we did the video? I don't know if you guys remember. You guys are like, I didn't watch that video. We did a video not recently, like a month ago, 2 months ago, looking at the light sniper. And he needed more damage. He just wasn't able to fully counter the Lucian cleave kind of things. And that actually would possibly help him do just enough damage to actually be very useful. I like that. That's going to be nice. That's going to be nice. Sylph Dark, Sylph Nightfall effect added blocks beneficial effects for 2 turns. Oh, okay. If you can manage to outspeed a Wusa. Actually, Fran too. More Fran than Wusa, because Wusa's gonna get a turn first, but yeah, that's kind of ooh. You can't Fran after that. You might see him some more. Windharg, ooh, Windharg, Deer Song. Effect, the Death Knight's got a buff. Okay, so the Death Knight's had a transmog recently. Let's pay attention to this. We're not gonna talk hard first, but Death Knight's got a transmog recently, and now we see a buff in the last balance patch. So think about that for the future. Whenever we see monsters get transmogs, and we're like, nobody uses them. Maybe they'll get a buff in the next balance patch, and it actually happened. They actually got a buff in the next balance patch. So keep that in mind for the future. That is something that actually did come to fruition. It's a good term to call it. Let's call it anyway. You use that term for other things in your personal life. I'm sorry, sweetie. I came to fruition too early. Anyway, Windharg, Deer Song, effect added, grants immunity on all allies with no harmful effects to be removed for 2. Oh yeah, immunity. He never granted immunity before. So he cleanses and grants immunity and a shield. But immunity is only on affects allies with no harmful effects. So if they didn't need to be cleansed, they get immunity. So you can kind of use more proactively instead of reactively. So you could use the Windharg like a baby Wusa. You could use Windharg like a baby Wusa. He's got the shield, he's got the immunity. It's not 3 turns, but Windharg is baby Wusa. Congratulations, Windharg owners. Everyone's like, that's me, I got a baby Wusa! You might actually see him in Guild Siege now. Like as a Guild Siege team for 4-star towers. Because he's a tanky defense monster, he's got a leader skill, and he's got the shield and immunity. So that might actually make him relevant. I feel like. What do you guys feel like? Am I crazy? I feel like that might actually make him relevant. Okay. Well, Death Knight Wind supply cooldown time reduced. Oh, okay. It's not a big one. I didn't read the whole thing, but it's not a big. But at least this shows that they are gonna balance things after, or they may balance things after if you see something with the transmog that isn't really relevant currently. Fire, Wind, Light, Deadly Wave, cooldown time decreased. Okay. Not really anything. It doesn't really make them like, oh, they're meta now. But they did get a little bit of balance. Beast Hunter all aim body damage increased by 20%. That's the first skill, right? I'm just thinking about that. I'm just thinking about that Fire Beast Hunter on Revenge now. Fire Beast Hunter. Okay, because he ignores defense. As his passive. So, Beast Hunter, Water, Wind, Dark, Aim, Head, Effect Modification, weakens defense for 2 turns. Now inflicted damage increases by 15% for a harmful effect. But it doesn't weaken defense, but it doesn't also weaken defense? Yeah, it looks like the defense break is instead just an increased damage. So this is kind of like Crow, this is like Brandy, this is like Xiao Lin, which is interesting. Water, Wind, and Dark. But the Water one is a single target freeze, so I kind of feel like those are good in 2 different spots. But what else we have? Beast Hunter, Water, Master of Hunting. Oh, never mind. They're changing the passive. Weakens enemy's defense for 1 turn if you attack the enemy with no beneficial effects. Is now. I thought it was a freeze. I could have sworn it was a freeze. Oh no! It's added. I'm sorry. I'm dumb right now. Weakens enemy's defense is now added to that. It's not. Okay. So it's still a freeze, but now it's weakened defense. Beast Hunter passive. Fire Beast Hunter. Passive activation increases to 10%. Is now 15% for each harmful effect granted on target. Damage ignores target's defense. 20% activation per attack included. Can be increased up to 50%. Okay. Just a little bit better. Beast Hunter, Dark Desperate Hour. Damage increased by 12%. Desperate Hour is the one that increases. Okay, so Desperate Hour, if I remember correctly, it absorbs half of your, not absorbs half your HP. It costs half your HP to activate, and then it ignores the defense, but it didn't quite do enough damage, if I remember correctly. So now the damage is increased, which is kind of what he needed. He still has, actually I was already planning on building him on one of my, on the Light Dark only account, so we'll test it out as well. I also have him built already on my main, so we will definitely test that one out. But damage increase is actually going to make him pretty viable. I already have a team in mind for him. What else? Beast Hunter Wind. Oh my god. That's the end of the balance patch. I didn't want it to end. I really didn't want it to end. Beast Hunter Wind Destruction Edge Wedge. Attacks the enemy with an arrow that can't be removed. Weakens the defense. Blocks beneficial effects and serves HP recovery. Now attacks the enemy with an arrow that can't be removed. Removes all beneficial effects. I didn't want the bounce patch to end. I'm sorry. I can't get over that. I can't get over that. So the triple debuffs, 90% chance, is now is now a strip. Okay, so that's a strip, and then does all that nonsense. That's actually pretty decent. It's a single target strip, and then 3 debuffs. So defense break. No, 2 debuffs now. And increase your attack gauge. Okay. Beast Hunter Light is now damage increased by 20%. I didn't want it to end. I should have seen the fact that we were getting to the 3 stars and it was gonna end, but Dark Dragon Awakening increases accuracies. Now increases critical rate. That's nice. Vampire, Dark Vampire Awakening effect. Modification increases critical rate is now strength and skill. Skill strengthened removes 1 beneficial effect. 50. Dark Vampire removes a beneficial effect and decreases attack gauge. He removes a beneficial effect now too. And decreases attack gauge. So he's like a Jir. So he's like Lauren. Yeah, get ready for the Dark Vampire to be usable in RTA now. Because he's like a Jir and Lauren, and he will also heal your team. So, okay. He heals. Yeah, he still heals your team, but he doesn't get the boost attack gauge when he's killing something. He absorbs it when he's doing his attack regardless. Dark Leader skill is now Leader skill is, instead of dungeons, it's everywhere. So that makes him more viable already for arena offense. If you think about it, he's a Hathor with the speed lead. Wow, he's a Hathor with the speed lead, and geez, we actually may see him. We actually may see him this coming up. Okay. And then skill AI modification for the A. You say that the contest. You say like you actually do AI code. We know that doesn't happen. They're like, damn it, Baker. Listen. Water Howl, skill error resolution, and I mean they did fix things that need to be fixed, but also I'm like, what is the like? Come on, man. They never go too crazy with these things. They address some of the things that need to be addressed, but I wish the Chimera got more. Like, oh man, it's just a damage increase. Like, that's not what he needed. He needed like some kind of harmful effect with the skill 3. I don't care about the damage increase from that. Colt Girls are nice though. Colt Girls got a nice buff. Light and Dark Dragon's got a... Well, the Dark Dragon got a better buff. Dark Vampire. They did buff the things that need to be buffed. I wish they did more. I wish it was more of this. Right? Because now we have to wait another 3 months. Another 3 months for maybe a Shazam buff. Maybe a Han buff. Maybe a Water Chimera. At least, you know what? Here's the thing though. For Water Chimera owners, like myself, at least they're looking at him and... A lot of times, remember what happened with Rakan? They did a buff, people weren't happy. In the next balance patch, they did a different buff, right? They changed it again. Then people still weren't happy. Then they changed it again, and it's like, oh, okay, people like it now. Good. So they did multiple buffs in a row, or multiple changes, multiple modifications of the unit in a row, of his passive in a row, until it was done. So hopefully we see that. We may see some more Water Chimera stuff in the future. If they decide, like, okay, we still need something, we'll do more. Still need something? Same thing with the Fire Monkey. Same thing with if some of these maybe aren't as exciting as they could be. Same thing with some of those. So I feel like we are still... It's in the right direction. I feel like I would have liked it to be more. I would have liked more monsters included in this, right? Because I was excited it was going to be a big one, but it wasn't a big one. That's what she said. That's what she said. Okay, listen. Anyway, what do you guys think about it? Leave in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's it for this one. I think some of those Occult Girl owners, congratulations. Dark Vampire Lord owners, as well as Dark Vampire Lord, Dark Vampire owners, congratulations. Light Dark Dragon, well, the Dark Dragon owners more than the Light ones. The Light ones extra damage, they're happy too, but yeah. Anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you as always. Wait a sec. There's an elephant in the room that we did not address. Nothing got nerfed, did it? Nothing got nerfed. Gani Hathor's still very strong. Vertiheel's still crazy on revenge. Ajir Lauren didn't get nerfed. Antares didn't get nerfed. All the things were like, it's gonna get nerfed, it's gonna get nerfed, it's gonna get nerfed. I mean, this is only... I like that they've been paying close things to user opinions. And it may change, right? Actual balance patch may differ from the details below. But we did not see any of the nerfs that we were like, oh, this is definitely gonna get nerfed, this is definitely gonna get nerfed. Didn't get nerfed. No Hathor, no Lore, no Ajir, no Verd, no Antares, no Diana, no, what else was crazy? No Jean, no, not Jean, Josephine. Yeah, a lot of those units that we were like, seeing the nerf coming, didn't happen. Maybe it will change though in the next one, but I just want to address that we didn't actually see any nerfs. Anyway, that's really it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you as always in the next one.